Hi everyone, it is Rita and I am 31 weeks today and it is Sunday, September 5th. This video probably won't be updated until September 6th, but yeah, I'm 31 weeks and I'm very excited and I just want to get right into it and tell you guys how my week has went, which has been a very interesting week. First off, I had a doctor's appointment on Friday. I told you guys that I was starting my appointments every 2 weeks. So this is my first 2-week appointment. 2 weeks before then, I had told you guys about my last doctor's appointment where I went and they told me that I had gained 10 pounds since my last visit. And I had also told them that her movements changed. And so they went and did the Biophysical Ultrasound on her, and everything came back fine. Well, I went to my doctor's appointment on Friday, which was the 3rd, and my original doctor, it's a woman doctor that I normally go to, she was like completely booked that day, so I had to either wait and like reschedule, or I had to just see another doctor. And I knew they were just going to, take my blood pressure and my weight and check my fundus and all that stuff real quick. So I was like, it's fine, just, I'll see this doctor. So it was a male doctor, and he came in, and they got my weight, which was 2 pounds less than what they weighed me at my last visit. And honestly, I think it was because, I don't think I lost any weight. I think it was because the girl before that told me I gained 10 pounds, I don't think she weighed me correctly. I don't think she knew how to use the scale where you move the little thing. But anyway, so my weight came out fine. Then the doctor came in and he asked me about her movements, if they had changed, and I said they had not changed since they changed, if that made sense. So from when she went to moving all the time to moving less during one time of the day, she hasn't changed her habits from that. So he was like, okay, that's good. As long as when the baby does move, they're moving 10 times within an hour or a certain amount of minutes. I forget, but I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about because your doctor probably told you too. Sorry, I seem out of breath. Just talking makes me be out of breath, like, I can't wait to push her out because I feel so fat and I can't breathe. All right. Where was I? Gosh, pregnancy brain fart. Okay. He measured my fundus and everything, and I'm assuming it measured correctly because he didn't even tell me what it was. But I had been running fine. They said that I had been measuring the same amount of weeks as I am, so I'm assuming I measured somewhere between 30 and 31 centimeters, because when I went for the appointment I was still 30 weeks. So then he took my blood pressure. So he took my blood pressure and it came out at 140/80. And he was like, this is a bit high for you, because my blood pressure is normally like 120/something. And he was like, it's a little elevated. And I was like, it's probably because I'm tired, because honestly, I rolled out of bed that morning and went to my doctor's appointment, because my doctor is 5 minutes down the street, literally. I can hop in my car 10 minutes before the appointment, drive down the street, and they're like calling my name when I walk in, and that's what I did. And so I was like, I'm probably just tired because I literally just woke up. And he was like, I don't know. He was like, this is really different from you. Your blood pressure is always 120/blah, blah, blah. And he's like, your pregnancy has always been so smooth. So I was like, okay. And he was like, we just have to look out for that because, preeclampsia and everything. He was like, we want to make sure that you're not developing that. So I was like, okay, that's understandable. So then he looks at my chart and he's like, oh, you had a biophysical ultrasound the last time you were here? And I was like, yeah, it was just because of her movements, but I told you that they haven't changed since they changed. And he was like, okay. So he left the room. He's like, I want to go check something. So he left the room. Then he came back. He was like, okay, so everything looks good. Everything looks fine, but you're not going home. And I was like, huh? And he was like, I want you to go down to the hospital. And I was like, say what? And I thought he meant, like, he was going to make an appointment for me to go to the hospital. He's like, yeah, I want them to do some monitoring on you and check you out. So I was like, okay. And then I was like, right now? And he was like, yeah, right now. I already called them and told them you were on your way. So I was like, oh, man. So I went down to the hospital. And when I got there, she was like, okay, well, I need you to change into your gowns, and then we'll see about admitting you. And I was like, admitting me? I was like, I thought I was just here for, like, some quick checkup, like, so you guys could use your machine that they didn't have there to, like, check me. And she was like, oh, you'll be here for a little while. So I was like, oh, my God. So I got in my gown, like, completely stripped down, like, I was really about to have a stay in the hospital. And I was in my gown. I got in my gown. Then some more nurses came in. They put my admittance band on me, started scanning it with a gun, started asking me all these questions on the computer. Do you have a history of this, or, do you have a history of that? Do you have stress in your life right now? Are you afraid of your child's father? I was like, what? Then they were like, are you on any drugs? Are you taking any alcohol? I was like, no. And what happened? Oh, so then they finished asking me all those questions. Then they hooked the thing up to my stomach to monitor the baby's heart rate. And then they hooked the blood pressure thing up to my arm. And so they could monitor my blood pressure. And then a lady came in on my other arm, and she, like, started taking blood from me. So I was just being poked all over, and I was just laying there like, oh, my gosh, like, what are they doing to me? So then the other nurse leaves, and the one is still there, and she's like, I'm going to set the computer to keep going off to check your blood pressure. So I was like, okay. And I was like, how long am I going to be here? And she was like, oh, you'll be here at least an hour, just because we have to wait for your blood to come back from the lab to make sure that nothing is abnormal and to make sure that everything's okay. And then we just want to get a few blood pressure readings from you, so we'll do one every couple minutes or something like that. I was like, okay, an hour's cool. So that was at like 12 o'clock. So she leaves, and she's like, okay, you can take a nap. I'm going to dim the lights. You can take a nap. Just relax. She's like, you can watch TV. She brought me my cell phone, and she was like, and then I'll be back. Waiting and waiting. The thing is, like, going off, taking my blood pressure, and I'm looking at it, and my blood pressure keeps dropping and dropping. It wasn't 140 anymore, like when I left the doctor's appointment. It, like, kept dropping. It was, like, 116, over 70-something. Then it was like 110, over 70-something. Like, it just kept getting lower and lower. I was like, okay, obviously nothing's wrong with me. My blood, something just spiked my pressure high in the morning. The baby's heart rate was fine. I was looking at it the whole time. It was around 140, anywhere from 143 to 149, which is normal. Anyway, to make a long story short, I was there for 4 hours. About 3 hours before the actual doctor came in, and he was like, okay. He was like, how are you feeling? I was like, fine. And he was like, how's the baby? Is the baby happy? The nurse was like, oh, the baby's sleeping right now. You can tell by the monitor or whatever. And so then that long picture that prints out, the doctor was like looking at that, and the nurse was like, oh, so do you just want to send her home? She seems fine. And he's like looking at it, and he's not answering her. And he's just looking at it, and he's not answering her. And he's like, oh, I still want to do a BPP on her, or whatever, a biophysical ultrasound, basically. And I'm sitting there thinking in my head, like, I just had one 2 weeks ago. But at the same time, I wasn't mad because I love ultrasounds, because I love getting to see her. So they sent me down for that. And the lady did the ultrasound. She checked my fluids, checked the baby. Everything was fine. And they had me on a hold call, so I was not allowed to leave until they sent the results to my doctor. And my doctor called back down to them and told them I could go. So they finally did that, and everything was good. And I left. And it was just, when I got home, I crashed and went to sleep, because the whole time I was there, I couldn't sleep, because I was just thinking about, like, okay, I'm in the hospital. I'm 30 weeks. Like, what are they checking for? Is everything okay? But they said that nothing was wrong. They couldn't find any reason why my blood pressure was spiked. And I don't know. I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. But I do think that they went a little crazy because I don't think I need to go through all of that. Just for my blood pressure being 140. Like, if you guys know, like, the borderlines for, like, below average and, like, above, like, high for blood pressure, like, 140 is just hitting it. Like, if I was 139, I would still would have been average. So that irked me a little bit, but I did get some cute pictures out of it, so I wasn't too upset. The ultrasound lady, she was crazy. She had me cracking up the whole time. She gave me some pictures. This first one, it looks kind of weird. It's actually her yawning. So, like, this is her body, and this is her mouth open, and that thing right there sticking out, that's her tongue. And that says feed me. So she was, like, leaning her head back and yawning. Then this one, she was just got finished sucking her thumb. So she had, like, took her hand out. This is her hand. And then you see her mouth, her lips, her nose, and then her eye. And she was about to put her hand back in her mouth again. And then this one, it just says, big girl choochie. Because she kept saying, oh, your girl has a big coochie. So she actually wrote big girl choochie on there. Those are her girl parts. And then this one is just her girl parts again. And it says, yes, daddy, I'm a big girl. So that could show them to Keith to prove that she's a girl, because he actually missed the gender scan. And so he hasn't had any proof that she's a... No, he didn't miss the gender scan. He was there, I'm sorry. But we didn't get any pictures. And it was hard to see because it was only 20 weeks then. And we never had any pictures for proof that it was a girl. So she's like, I'm going to give you some pictures for proof. So that was cool that I got pictures out of it. Other than that, that has been my hectic week. I've just been tired still, breathing heavy, as you can hear. And yeah, and what I'm going to do really quick before I run out of time is I just want to show you guys a few things that I did for the baby shower, which is coming up. It's going to be September 25th, so that's in 3 weeks. My RSVP date was yesterday, and people are RSVPing, so I'm very excited that I have all these people coming. And I just want to show you guys things I did real quick before I run out of time. It's a ladybug theme, if you guys did not know that. So yeah. This is just a little container I made with a ladybug on the back of it. And it's going to hold like forks and stuff like that on the table. This little guy I got at Dollar Tree, and I went back to look for more of him and I couldn't find them. So I looked online about why I couldn't find any more. This little bugger is actually recalled because babies were choking on these. So don't give these to your kids. This is a little glass thing that I made. It has the pink and red flowers in it. It's going to be for like raffle, people picking things out of it, just something simple. These are actually my centerpieces. They're little containers I made. I got these from Joann's, these regular clear containers, and I put ribbon on them, pink and white polka dots, and then the red with white polka dots. And then I glued this black sparkly stuff on it, and I glued these ladybugs on there, and I glued these flowers on the top, which I also got from Joann's. And then this actually opens up, and you can put something inside, which inside I have just a little shower gel and some fun white paper down there. And what I'm going to do with those is it's actually just going to be, these are going to be the centerpieces, and they're also going to be the gifts. I'm going to give these away for the winners of Baby Shower Bingo. This is my Baby Shower Bingo template. I got it at parents.com. You can download this, and then I just tricked it out by putting some little ladybugs on it and a ladybug for the free space. I just did that with my computer. I'm running out of time. I'm going to do a video number 2 just because I want to finish showing you guys the rest of the stuff. So check out for that.